Welcome back, fellow Fix-It Inc. engineers. This is DragonLoon, and thank you for joining me once again. Last time we were here, we set up our production lines for concrete over here, and several production lines to start working on producing reinforced iron plate, such as producing our standard iron plate, our iron rods, and our screws, as well as starting to work on generating biofuel automatically for power, at least until we can get to coal. That is going to be our goal, not necessarily for this video. However, if we can get there, all the better. For this video though, right now what we need to work on is we need to get parts assembly, as this will give us our assembler, which is what is required in order to make our iron plates. Now, if we take a look over here at the Greeny Dev calculator, I've already pulled up the reinforced iron plates, and according to this we can get away with one Mark 1 iron miner on a normal node, which is what we have, 2 iron smelters, again, what we already have set up, as well as what we would need for 5 reinforced iron plate per minute. We would actually need 2 constructors working on iron plates. Now, it says 1.3 at 100%, or 2 machines underclocked at 67% for 100% efficiency. I'm just going to throw down 2 constructors, and probably going to need to throw down another miner just to get another smelter, because one smelter produces 30 iron bars per minute, and one constructor producing iron plates needs 30 iron bars per minute, because the iron plates is a 2-to-1 ratio, 2 iron bars to 1 iron plate. So I think that's what we're going to do right now. However, we'll go ahead and select this milestone just so that we have that as a reminder of what we need to get to. And for now, actually what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get that taken care of. But in order to do that, I'm going to need some more wire, which means some more copper. So I'm just going to cut to having all of the resources available. See you in a moment. Alright, welcome back. So we have all of the items in here, so let's go ahead and proceed. And then what we need to do is we need to rearrange our
assembly of parts can now be automated.
Yeah, she's talking about things such as the reinforced iron plates. So, as I was saying, what we need to do is we actually need to rearrange some of this a little bit, just so that we have better production flow. So we have 3 iron nodes over here. We're going to end up using 2 of them. One for the iron rods, excuse me, one for both of the iron plate productions. And then we really only need 1 for the iron rods. But we have this glorious splitter here that splits 3 ways. So I'm thinking we can actually overclock this to produce 90 per minute, which would allow us to have 3 smelters going. But our energy production is really low. So we're going to need another burner. So let's go ahead and throw that down. And this is why I really cannot wait until we get to coal, because coal generation is going to be so much better. It's automated, and we don't have to worry about anything other than constantly making sure that the coal miner has power, and that we don't overtax the circuit. So, alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to rip up a bunch of this, and we'll show that in fast forward. Alright, folks, so we are back and done with setting everything up. Sorry about a couple of little glitches there. Tried putting a couple foundations down and misplaced them. Also, somehow, when I picked up the storage container over here that had a bunch of leaves in it, I don't know where those leaves went. That is really weird. So, what I've done, and I actually do need to overclock that before I forget. So, let's go in here and produce this power slug to get the power shard. And then we're going to overclock this to 150%, now producing 90 ore per minute. Unfortunately, the conveyor belt can only carry 60 per minute right now, but we will get and take care of that once we get the space elevator and get to tier 3. For now, we will just have to deal with it. So, now we have our iron rods being produced, our screws being produced, and our iron plates. What I should do is I should throw a container down in the middle here to collect those, because we're going to need those for other things still. Alright. So there we go. Now we can produce our assembler. But to make an assembler, we need the modular frames and rotors. So we'll have to go over here and manually produce those. Luckily, we only need 4 of them each. So, produce rotors. We have everything we need, which is just iron bars and screws. So we'll get 4 of those real fast. But to produce modular frames, we need 3 reinforced iron plates per modular frame. And we need 4 of them. Luckily, we have what we need to produce all 4 modular frames. And there we go. And there we go. So there's 4 modular frames. Now, we should be able to take this assembler and plop it down right about there. And then we can hook up this conveyor belt there. No, we can't, because it's going all wonky. So we just hook it up that way. Then we take that one and hook it up there. But I think that is incorrect. Let's see. No, I was correct. We need screws and iron plate. So we'll select reinforced iron plate. And then we will find a power node that we can snag from, which is right there. Interesting. So we will actually pull that one and then hook it up that way. Like so, and like so, but I don't have enough cable. Imagine that. Don't have enough cable. Also, what you see me doing right now is holding my spacebar button down. It does the same thing as holding the mouse button on the craft. I can't remember exactly where I read that, but it was on one of the many forums that I've been reading recently. So, now that we have that, we have enough cable, we can do that, and we can drop that there, and we can do that, And now we are producing reinforced iron plates. And just like everything else, we are going to want to throw that into a container because we are going to need a lot of it. And there we go. And if you look in here, we are producing 5 per minute at 100% efficiency. So, there we go. Now, the next thing we need to do is we need to start producing those rotors and modular frames in large quantities as well. Although for some reason we aren't at 100% efficiency due to our screws. Why are we not at 100% efficiency due to our screws? Oh yeah, because if we look back at our calculator, we need 2 constructors producing screws in order to supply enough screws for 5 reinforced iron plates per minute. But at the same time, that's because we are only able to transport 60 per minute and 60 per minute. Oh, joy. Well, next step is to get the space elevator then. So that's what we need to focus on. And if we go in here and we look at the specials for the space elevator, we need a bunch of concrete, bunch of plates, bunch of rods, and a bunch of regular wire. So, give me a moment and I'll go collect it all up. Alright, so I've got all the resources available to be able to make the space elevator. I did take the opportunity to add another bio generator because I automated the process of creating copper wire as well as cable. Because we are starting to need a lot of it, I felt that it was more beneficial to have this process automated rather than constantly having to run back and forth collecting a stack of 100 copper at a time and smelting that and everything like that. So, let's get to placing this space elevator. Now, it is a large piece of equipment. It takes up a lot of space. So we'll put it way out here in the middle of the field. We're going to eventually move that, especially once we go underground. But for now, this will do just fine. And the incoming animation, once this is completely made, is really awesome. And there we have it. That's the space elevator. Now, if we come over here, what we need to put in here is 75 reinforced iron plates and 50 rotors. And this will unlock Tier 3 and Tier 4. Now, some people might ask, why am I worrying about Tier 3 and Tier 4? Well, because Tier 3 has the Mark II conveyor belts, as well as, I believe, Mark II miners, which will just make the whole automation process for the rotors and the reinforced iron plates and the modular frames oh so much better. So, we need 75 rotors. And to make rotors, we need screws, and iron rods. So let me create those 75 rotors, because we should have, yep, we already have enough reinforced iron plates. And once I have the rotors, we'll be right back again. Alright, we have everything we need to unlock Tier 3 and Tier 4. So let's put these items in here. And then we seal it. And then we send it. And shoot it into space. And there we go. Alright. So now, if we come look here, we have Tier 3, which has, lo and behold, coal power, which has the coal generator, which allows us to automate things, automate power generation. Not to mention, it produces 150 watts per minute. Whereas the biogenerators only produce 25 megawatts, excuse me. No, 20 megawatts. And according to the Satisfactory Wiki, coal generator produces 50 megawatts per minute per coal. So, we definitely want that. But we also want this Logistics Mark II, which gives us the Conveyor Mark II, which allows 120 resources per minute. And as somebody suggested in one of the previous videos that I've posted, logistics over other milestones. So we're going to go after the logistics first, because that is going to give us those Mark II conveyor belts. And luckily, I still have 25 rotors, so we'll go ahead and dump those in there, and dump everything else that we need in there, and then hopefully we already have produced enough of everything else and have backstock to where we don't have to manually craft anything. So if we come over here, yes, we have plenty of cable. Now the question is, do we have wire? No, we do not have enough wire. So I'm going to have to manually craft that. Be back shortly. Alright, so we have everything we need, and let's send this off, and now we have...
Milestone reached. We encourage you to consider more verticality when it comes to factory logistics to streamline short-range transportation.
Alright, so now, if we go in here, we have conveyor pulls, which allows us to stack conveyors and create even taller conveyor buses. We have our Conveyor Mark II, which allows us to transport up to 120 resources per minute. We have our Conveyor Lift Mark II, and so now let's start upgrading some of these. The only problem with the Conveyor Mark II is that it needs reinforced iron plates. So we'll need to go collect a bunch of those. And the first belts that we want to upgrade, and I need to grab this power shard first. The first belt that we want to upgrade is going to be this one. Now the great thing about these conveyor belts is if you put your cursor over a pre-existing conveyor, as long as the conveyor belt that you have selected is a different level, whether up or down, from the one currently in place, it will highlight blue like this, and then you can just select and it will completely upgrade the entire thing. That way you don't have to worry about deconstructing it and reconstructing it or anything of that nature. It'll take care of that all by itself. So let's put this power slug back in here and bring it back up to 150 to produce 90 per minute, which is what we need to supply all 3 of these smelters. And then hopefully we will start getting 100% efficiency. There we go. That one is at 100% efficiency, which means that this one will get up to 100% efficiency shortly, as it gets a more steady supply of iron ingots. And this one will be up at 100% efficiency shortly, again as the iron ingots continue to steadily be produced. The only thing that we now need to do is we should upgrade this conveyor here and this conveyor here, and that should start bringing this up to 100% efficiency as well. There we go. We're already starting to see it go climbing. All right. Now we've got plenty of reinforced iron plates coming in. But we will need a bunch more of that, as we're going to be using the conveyor Mark IIs for everything. Now, I know some of you are like, well, you don't need it for these belts over here, and you don't need it for that belt over there, because that one is only using 30, while the miner is producing 60. Personally, I like the highest level of conveyor belts possible, simply because then you don't have to worry about anything. Like if you want to add on other things to these lines, you don't have to worry about, well, am I producing enough or anything of that nature. The next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to unlock that coal research, because constantly supplying these with fuel takes time away from building your factory. Also, if you notice, we're generating 100 megawatts, and at peak we're using 95 megawatts, which is not good, especially if we want to expand our factory to be able to automate rotors and modular frames. So, let's see what we need for coal, which is in tier 3. And for coal, we need more reinforced iron plates, more rotors, more wire, and more cables. So, let me go collect all of this up, and we'll be right back. Alright, and we're back. We have everything we need to be able to unlock coal. So let's throw it all in there. And now we've unlocked coal.
Milestone reached. Long-range transportation, as well as the construction of outposts, is now encouraged. An increased focus on the explore and exploit pillar is recommended. Coal is 125% more efficient than biomass and can be automated.
Alright, and that is exactly what we want. So, let's find the nearest coal seam. Where are you? There you are. And there's one. And there's one. The closest one is way over here. And if we look at the green dev calculator, which also has a map in it, we will see the closest coal node, and we've got to clear all of these, we've got to clear all of these limestones, and if we zoom in here, we are actually located, if we pull the iron nodes back up, you see these 3 iron nodes right here? That is where we are currently located. So if we zoom back out, you can see that we have a coal node over here and a coal node over here. And what we want to do is we actually want to utilize, we'll go down to this one here. That one is going to be kind of the easiest to get to. And I will show you where that is. And rather than using trucks, I'm not a big fan of the trucks. They're unreliable when you go to automate them because they could get stuck. They could run out of fuel. I just personally prefer conveyor belts until, of course, the trains come out. And then once the trains come out, the transportation via vehicles will just be, oh, so much better. And hey, look at this. Down here near this coal node, we have a green power slug. We have a bunch of power slugs down over here. So let's collect all of these power slugs up. Oh, hello. Come here, come here, come here. Haha. And you're dead. There was something over here. Not sure what it was. Dunno. But these are limestone nodes. It's a normal limestone node. What's that sound? Ah, there's the power slug. What's that sound? Ooh. What's this? Yep, wood. Definitely want some wood. Wood is really good. And what's this? A Mercer Sphere. Well, right now Mercer Spheres aren't useful. That is going to most likely be a much later late game item. But never hurts to pick them up right now. And like I've previously stated, anytime you can pick up biomass, pick it up. Alright. So, the downside to where that power slug is that creature right there. Or that plant. Plant, I think it is. Because if you get too close to it, it's going to stand up and start spewing all kinds of poison gas. So we're going to have to do is we are going to have to try and get by it real quick. And of course we can't get up there. Let's try it this way. Yep, it's going to stand up. Nope, we can't get up to that one. We'll have to come back from that for that one later. But we can go over here. And hey, look, more quartz. No, that's bauxite. We need bauxite in the late game for nuclear power generation. Actually, it's for aluminum, but you need aluminum in order to produce nuclear fuel rods. So, never hurts to collect it. And there's a power slug, but we don't need to get those just yet. What we're looking for is that coal node that's over here. I believe it's down that way. Yes, it is. So, if you look... Oh, oh, where are you? There you are. Whoa! What? Hello? Haha! There you are. Forgot. They usually come in pairs. Yeah, I punched its lights out. Alright. Coal nodes. Coal? Yep, down there. So here's the interesting challenge. That coal node is way over there. And if we come over here, that's the void. If we fall down there, we die. And there's really no way to get over there. Except by building a bridge. So what we're going to do is we're going to place this foundation right there. And we'll just go ahead and build a whole bridge of foundations. Like so. And... oh, that's the wind. Wow, never noticed that before. Alright, so if we go over here, we got a bunch of these spitter things. Right there. And he saw me. We're gonna have to heal up real fast. And I think there's like 3 or 4 of them down there. So let's clear them out. Alright. Now over here, I hate those things because they're like buggy, crabby things. I don't know. Let's see if we can slip around it. And collect this. Nope, we can't. Ah, alright. And this drops another carapace. Now these things are really cool, because if we wait, it'll talk to us. Not sure how long. There we go.
I strongly advise you to harvest this specimen.
And no, that is not Ada talking to us. Although it does sound very familiar to her, doesn't it? Alright, anyway. Back to what we were doing. Huh. What? Oh, wow! There is a slug! Huh! Didn't know that one was down there. Alright. Now, what we want to do is we want to I'd say we want to build off this way, making these coal power plants. And what do we need for the coal power plants? We need modular frames and rotors still. So let's get a crafting bench. And we don't have enough to produce it. Alright. Give me a moment, and I'll be right back. And we'll put a couple of coal power plants down over here. Alright. So I've got enough materials to build 4 coal generators. I did that because while I was back at the base, I did have a power failure due to overusing the power network. So I wanted to make sure that we had plenty of power even after those 5 biogenerators are no longer being fueled. So I also brought over a bunch of concrete and a bunch of other material needed to build power lines all the way back to our main base. So let's get to it. Alright, we are going to throw that at number 9, and then we're going to slap that right down there, and then we're going to put a splitter right here, going off like that. That can be closer. Not a merger, a splitter. Okay. And can we put another one this way? Not really. Nope. Alright. So, we will just have to continue to build out. Like so. And we'll put another one. Turn it around like that. We'll put another one right there. And another one. Oh. Need more. Not down there. Come here. And that's 3. And that is 4. Now, we have it set up to where eventually we can add more generators on this side, as well as further down the line. And I personally am a fan of the overflow method rather than the load balancing. It's all a matter of personal taste on which one you prefer. Some people like doing the load balancing. I personally think that it takes up too much space, or it takes up more space than the overflow method. But whichever way you decide to go, just make sure that you plan for that method. And one more. And that does it. Now, to get all of this going, we obviously need coal in the generator. So, we come over here and we collect up some coal. And that should be good. And then we throw it in this first generator. And a pure coal node with a Mark 1 miner produces 120 per minute. And one of these takes 5.4 seconds to burn. And I'm not exactly sure what the calculation on that is. But as you can see, these are splitting down, and eventually this one will fill up 100%, and then all of them will come through, and then this one will fill up to a stack of 100, and then it will keep going down the line, and keep going down the line, and eventually this will be completely full, until I think one of these Mark 1s can support, I think it's 9 or 10 coal generators. So, but right now in just this one subsection, we're producing 200 megawatts. So, let's run this power back to the base. And we'll see you there. Alright, and here we are. And I've already hooked it up to the power network over here. And as you can see, we're producing 300 megawatts. Now, in order to keep this one running over here, I did have to shut down this constructor. And if we turn it on, you can see that the power network is not overloaded. Alright. Well, so far we have completed the automation of iron plates, as well as obtained coal power and coal generation. And I think that what we will do, yep, coal right there. I think we'll leave it here for now. Next time we'll work on getting the walkways and jump pads and start working on steel production. Ooh, ah. No, next time we'll have to start automating the rotors and the modular frames, because those are going to be really important. And once again, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button, as well as subscribe, so that you don't miss out on any more videos. Thank you. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.